Roman landscape introduced in England in the beginning of 20th century. Then it is popular over the Europe.
Roman garden is a landscape garden design which was introduced in England in the beginning of 18th century. It is also called as English landscape park. This English garden had become popular all over the Europe, which replaced the 17th century symmetrical and formal style garden. English gardens represent the ideal nature view and were very much inspired by the painting of Nicolas Poussin and Claude Lorrain. Generally, in an English garden, there may be a lake or pond, establishing rolling lawns opposite the tree groves and structure of bridges, ruins, and some other architecture. There are some influence of Persian, Greek, and Egyptian on Roman garden. Part of garden that influenced by Persian is in narrow water canals or rills graced many gardens in ancient Rome. For example, the garden of Laurius Tibertinus in Pompeii. Part of garden that influenced by Egyptian is the Roman admire the ancient gardening traditions of Egypt. Part of garden that influenced by Greek is on its architecture. The Greeks began using the portico or colonnade as an intermediary space between house and garden in the 4th century, and this technique was later adapted by the Romans.
Hi Imran, what are you doing?
Study about Roman landscape for assignment next week.
What is Roman landscape?
It is a Roman tradition typically show grand panoramas of imaginary view.
Imran, can you elaborate more about Roman landscape?
We can see that the term of landscape itself is large, so I tend to focus more on Roman garden. Roman garden was a place of peace and tranquility, where it's refuge from urban life and filled with religious and symbolic meanings. Basically, it is influenced by Egyptian, Persian, and Greek gardening. You know, in Roman landscape, there is 4 types of garden design. The first one is enclosed garden. In enclosed garden, the building entirely and partially surrounded the garden. For example, Pompeii Herculaneum. Secondly is open garden. This garden are surrounded a building. It also have a characteristic of suburban or rural villas. For example, Hadrian's Villas Garden. The third one is formal garden. This garden, usually in the vicinity of a house, their form and proportion tending to follow the architecture of the house itself. It is also based on the shape of the great sports arena and usually design a isolated units within a large park. For example, Imperial Palace of Pincian Hill, Hadrian's Villa at Tivoli. The fourth one is informal garden. For example, the Peristyle Garden, the Portico Garden. These are some features of Roman's garden. Now, do you understand what I had explained earlier?
Yes, now I know about Roman landscape. Thank you Imran.